Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam 10th Canto, Chapter 13, The Stealing of the Boys and Cows by Brahma, Text 40. Please repeat. Tavatyetyatma bhuratma manena drutyanehasa purovatat abdham kridantam dadrase sakalam harim. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. When Lord Brahma returned after a moment of time had passed, according to his own measurement, he saw that although by human measurement a complete year had passed, Lord Krishna, after all that time, was engaged just as before in playing with the boys and cows, who were his expansions. Purport. Lord Brahma had gone away for only a moment of his time, but when he returned, a year of human time had passed. On different planets, the calculation of time is different. To give an example, a man-made satellite may orbit the Earth in an hour and 25 minutes and thus complete one full day, although a day ordinarily takes 24 hours for those living on Earth. Therefore, what was but a moment for Brahma was 1 year on Earth. Krishna continued to expand himself in so many forms for 1 year, but by the arrangement of Yogamaya, no one could understand this but Balarama. After one moment Brahma's calculation, Brahma came back to see the fun caused by his stealing the boys and cows. But he was also afraid that he was playing with fire. Krishna was his master, and he had played mischief for fun by taking away Krishna's cows and boys. He was really anxious, so he did not stay away for very long. He came back after a moment of his calculation. When Brahma returned, he saw that all the boys, cows were playing with Krishna in the same way as when he had come upon them. By Krishna's display of Yogamaya, the same pastimes were going on without any change. On the day when Lord Brahma had first come, Baladeva could not go with Krishna and the cowherd boys, for it was his birthday and his mother had kept him back for the proper ceremonial bath called Shantika Snana. Therefore, Lord Baladeva was not taken by Brahma at that time. Now, 1 year later, Brahma returned, and because he returned on exactly the same day, Baladeva was again kept at home for his birthday. Therefore, although this verse mentioned that Brahma saw Krishna and all the cowherd boys, Baladeva is not mentioned. It was 5 or 6 days earlier that Baladeva had inquired from Krishna about the extraordinary affection of the cows and cowherd men. But now, when Brahma returned, Brahma saw all the calves and cowherd boys playing with Krishna as expansions of Krishna, but he did not see Baladeva. As in the previous year, Lord Baladeva did not go to the woods on the day Lord Brahma appeared there. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Putale Srimate Bhakti Vikasaswami. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Putale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Purana Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharya Devi Sheshwanyavarika Shakti Deshtarani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Bhakti Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Dhavat Dhavat Etyatma Bhuratma Manena Trutane Hasa Provat Abdham Kridandam Provat Abdham Kridandam Tadrishe Kalam Harim Sakalam Harim. When Lord Brahma returned after a moment of time had passed according to his own measurement, he saw that although by human measurement a complete year had passed, Lord Krishna, after all the time, was engaged just as before in playing with the boys and cows who were his expansions. So, this Brahma Vimohana Leela, we are continuing to hear. So, you see that Sunday morning we heard how this Leela further unfolded with so many different things, like how even Lord Balarama was bewildered by Krishna's Yogamaya Shakti, and then how all these gopas and the cows and they all had so much love, the affection was increased, and the reason for it because Krishna himself is expanded, and no one could understand. This Leela was going on for 1 year, although it was for Brahma's calculation, for his time, it's just a moment. So, this is amazing. Here, Srila Prabhupada is explaining that why just Brahma came back in a moment, because, he was afraid that he was playing with fire. He thought this is just for fun, but actually, Srila Prabhupada saying here, he was really anxious, so he did not stay away for long. He came back after a moment. So, now Brahma returned and he see that's all the boys and calves were playing as before, before he stolen all the. So now he's completely Brahma wonder, what's going on, where are these calves and boys, and he turned and he saw that all of them are there also. They were sleeping, but here Krishna is playing with everyone. So, and in the meantime, we heard that they were all so much affection is increased, and they were changing their affection, particularly the elderly cows, even though the younger calves were there, but they were showing so much affection to the elderly calves. So all these things are, it's not easy to understand for, even by the people who are studying Vedas for the sake of, you know, becoming very big scholars or whatever, with some other motivation than to understand Krishna. Eh, Even for them is very difficult to understand. And what to speak of some materialistic people or some scientists, some research people, or anyone else, you know. So to understand Krishna's transcendental position, his pastimes, the process is given in the Bhagavad Gita itself. Krishna says, Bhaktyamam abhijanati. By bhakti only one can understand, no other way. Otherwise, Krishna says, Manusyanam shagasheshu kashid yatadi siddhaye etatam api siddhana kashin mam veti tattva. Even the person who achieved the perfection, there are not many people trying for perfection. Siddhas, they are not nowadays, especially in the modern days, hardly you can find any siddhas at all. You know, anybody trying to become, you know, siddha. But even there are thousands of among those perfected souls. Very rarely someone is understand Krishna. Etatam api siddhanam karshinma veti tattva. So, and also Krishna says, Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan ma prapatete. After many, many, many births, you know, the people who are those who are jnanis, those who are studying the Vedas, those who are trying to understand the Vedas, those people also, it's not so easily just simply by studying the Vedas they understand. So that is also said in Bhagavad Gita that Yamimyam pushpitam bacham pravatan avipashchitaha vedavada radhapata nanyat asti vadinaha. Krishna is says that these people who are the Vedic scholars and they are men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas. And they say that there is nothing more than this. They just bewildered by the Vedavada or Traigunya Vishaveda. Later in the same chapter, second chapter, Krishna explains that the Vedas are like Traigunya Vishaveda. These students of the Vedas, they are very much attached to the ritualistic ceremonies mentioned in the Vedas, you know, and they are not really understanding the goal of Vedas. The goal of Vedas is given in Bhagavad Gita itself. Krishna later in the 15th chapter says, Vedais sarve raham veda vedya vedanta krit veda videva chagam. And that is the goal, to know Krishna. Krishna is the absolute truth. So that is the goal of Veda. And only Krishna is a compiler of the Veda, and he is the knower of the Veda, and he is to be known. So that is the goal of Vedas. But people who doesn't study under the some authorities, the Vedas for them is just so many things. Like, you know, Gokul Prabhu told us many times that there is one very big Pandit in Salem who is doing so many yajnas. He is very famous. And, you know, they study Vedas, they do so many yajnas, and they're really into Vedic life. You know, they are not going around and watching movie, cricket, and sense gratification. It's not there. Their life is very nice. If you see them, their lifestyle is, of course, they drink coffee and sometime watch TV, maybe. But compared to the other people, they're completely living like in different world. But even then, I know when you ask them what is the goal of Vedas, oh, there are so many goals are there. So this is how it's bewilders. Even by studying Veda, one can get bewildered. Hmm. So therefore, Krishna also advised Arjun, Yamimam Pushpitam Vacham. Don't get bewildered by this, Pushpitam Vacham. There are so many uh, um, uh, how say that, flowery words. So they're, bewildering. You do this, you will get this. So many, this Karma Kanta portion is the most of the things, a very big portion of Vedas is Karmakanda because people are not uh, ready to accept immediately the ultimate goal. So, to fulfill their desire, there are so many things given in the Vedas, different rituals, different results, is given. So, people get bewildered with that. Then they lose the ultimate goal. Mm. Of course, there is given because ultimately, uh, after seeing so many yajnas, so many different rituals, by doing they get so many results, so many material benefit, but still they are not happy. So then they want to be more happy. Then they try to look, you know, to get more happiness. So they want to enjoy more, and then they get the message that, oh, there is heavenly planet. If we go to heavenly planet, there is a much more enjoyment. Then there is a longer duration of life, very high standard of life. And then they try to go there. And even there, it's not, enjoyment is not forever. It's a temporary only. After all the punya is over, then again they have to come back. So then, it's after long time, then they may, try to come to understanding that there is beyond this material universe, there is spiritual world, and then for that you have to engage in the devotional service of the Lord. Then that's so many lifetime, and in meantime you may get bewildered by so many other karma kanda sections, the activities. So the point is to understand the ultimate goal of Veda, to understand Krishna is not so easy. It's not uh, by some speculation or some uh, one's own endeavor, by studying Sanskrit, by studying, doing some research. Uh, some people just try to understand or they think they understood, like Srila Prabhupada often quotes this Dr. Radhakrishnan. He is by trying to speculating, he is speaking about that there is within Krishna someone. Uh, but Srila Prabhupada very clearly explained there is nothing for Krishna, is within, without, is all are same. For Krishna is everything is spiritual. So because he, in the material point of view, he is trying to understand that he thinks maybe Krishna's body is just like our body is material. There is within Krishna's body, there is something spiritual. But Krishna says, He is within, without. He is everywhere. Within every body, He is only there. And if it's something within Krishna, that within Krishna also is Krishna only. So He is in everyone's heart. So there is nothing is different from Krishna. So like that, there are so many people trying to, understand Krishna with their with material desire and their contaminated um, knowledge. So it's not easy unless they become purified from the materialistic intelligence. They is situated in spiritual knowledge, they can't understand Krishna. But Krishna is so kind, and he is coming personally, and he giving Bhagavad Gita, and he is sending his representative, his pure devotees. So by following their footsteps, one can understand Krishna is so kind, even though he is difficult to understand even for Lord Brahma and other demigods who are, very high position compared to the ordinary jivas like us, But still, by Krishna's mercy, through his devotees, if we follow the footsteps of his devotees, if we follow the instruction which is by Krishna, otherwise it's not possible. Therefore, the Shastra says, Ata Shri Krishna Namadi Nabhave Kraham Indriya. Here in this material world, we try to understand everything by our sense perception, by our senses. Like in modern days, people they challenge, show me God. So many times Prabhupada says that, okay, you are asking, show me God. There, of course, several reply Prabhupada given for this challenge. One of the replies was, okay, if I show a God, can you understand He is God or not? How you will understand whether He is God or not? So you have no any idea anything about God, then how you will understand? And then another point Prabhupada said that, okay, whether you have eyes to see, you can't see so many things, even in this material world, material thing like the mind. There's so many subtle things are there. We can't see. Even the gross thing, we can't see many things. Srila Prabhupada gives very simple example, like your car broke down and then you open the panel and in the front and you look at the engine, you don't see anything. And then same car is looked by the mechanic and okay, here it is. And he comes and takes one tool and then just little hit and then he asks, okay, give me 1,000 rupees. Then you argue, Prabhupada gives this example. You argue with him, and then why are you taking 1,000 rupees? You just hit. Yeah, where to hit, how to hit, that I know, therefore I am taking. And you may know to hit, but you don't know where to hit. So that is the difference. So, like that simple way, the mechanic, he also see like us, he also has the two eyes like us, but he could see. Why? Because he learned from the authority. So similarly, Unless we learn from the authority, even though we have eyes, we can't see. Yeah. So, therefore, this Ata Shri Krishna Nama Dinabhavet Grahyam Indriya, by the sense perception, we can understand. And then, what is the solution? Sevon Mukhehi Jivado Swayam Eva Spratyataha. By engaging in the service of Krishna, we can understand. Srila Prabhupada explains in the one of the lectures that even people who come to temple, they may do worship as a ritual. They, even though they may come to temple, they may just do kind of some, ritualistic worship, but they can't understand Krishna as he is. And we see that so many people are going, so many temples are there, and people are not really understanding Krishna. So once I said to the person, the people are not, how you know that people don't understand? Because once you understand Krishna, then you are not interested anymore in any material activity. Yeah. That is the proof that you understand Krishna. If you understand Krishna, then you are not interested in cinema, you are not interested in cricket, in politics, all these nonsense things. But you see everyone, all the time engaging all these material activities for sense gratification. And if you claim yourself, you know Krishna, then how this is contradicting? According to the Shastra, if you see the person who understands Krishna, he loses interest in any material thing. He completely absorbs in Krishna. He is not interested anymore in any material activity. So that is what we experience. All the great devotees, they just completely engage in the devotional service. They talk about Krishna, they see Krishna's deities like Ambarish Maharaj. He engage all his senses, everything in Krishna service. His mind, different, part of his body, everything is engaged in the service of Krishna. So that is now in our movement also we experience when people, when they come, when they understand philosophically, they're more, dedicated, more engaged in the service, more they are ready to do seva, they give up the material sense gratification, and then without understanding, we can see some people, they come 20 years, 30 years also, still they're not start chanting, still they're not reading books, but they come. You can see, every Sunday, some of them are coming, but they're not really following. Even if they follow something, it is just for because every time devotees are asking, so they just, to say something. Like one person, yesterday, Sunday, I was in Karur. One person is coming last more than 6 months. He's coming every Sunday. And, so after 2-3 Sunday, I, appreciated him. I gave him one Science of Self-Realization book. And then every time when I ask, still he is reading that book. After 6 months also, he is still reading the same book. It's not yet completed. And so another person also, he said that, he's reading very slow. So he's also reading, so many months in only one book, one small book. So because these people are very much attached to the sense gratification, and it's not easy to understand, even though they come to temple, even though, of course, if they keep on coming, especially in our temples, ISKCON temples, where Bhagavad Gita class and so many engagement in devotional services, slowly they may get purified and then they can understand. Otherwise, as this verse says, others Sri Krishna Nama Adi Navavekrakam, the Nama, by understanding Krishna's Nama, by engaging in our tongue in chanting Krishna's holy name, the first thing, when you come to know anything about somebody, first thing you learn his name, then Nama, Guna, Rupa, Lila, and everything else is revealed gradually. So, this is the really process by engage ourselves in the service of Krishna, by get purified. Then we can, when we are purified, then we can really understand Krishna. Otherwise, especially like this Leela, is very difficult. There are so many forms Krishna is expanded, and every single kopas and the calves and everything exactly looking same. All the the character and the behavior, everything, even the dress, everything looks exactly same. How to understand it? It's not easy. Therefore, even Lord Brahma is bewildered. But same time, we see, for devotees, it's not so difficult to understand it, because like Narada Muni, when he came to Dwaraka, there was, he went to all these 16,108 palaces, and he saw in every palace Krishna is there. And it's not Narada Muni is completely bewildered, and he can understand. His Supreme Lord is so amazing. So, because the devotee understands that Krishna is the source of everything, and he is, have unlimited energy, and even though he expands in so many rupa, so many forms, but still he is one person. Therefore, it's not so difficult for devotees. Eko devo nithalilana rakto bhakta vyapi hridantara atma. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead is eternally engaged in many, many transcendental forms in relationship with his unalloyed devotees. So there, in Brahma Samhita, it says that Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam. So unlimited form. Krishna can expand, and he can perform so many wonderful activities. But if one is not a devotee, it's very difficult to understand, because we see, in the materialistic point of view, you and me and others can't expand like that in so many forms. So therefore, they can't understand. They think this is impossible, or it's some imaginary story. So the person, one who is in perfect stage, one who is purified, they can understand Krishna's janma karma. Everything is transcendental. Janma karma chameti evam yoveti tatvatah. They can understand exactly what it is. Tameva viditvat mrityameti nanya panta vidyate anaya. One can attain the perfect stage of liberation from birth and death simply by knowing the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And there is no other way to achieve this perfection. So this is the meaning of understand Krishna as he is, tattvataha. Otherwise, it's just, I know Krishna. So many people, they speak when we go for book distribution. I know Bhagavad Gita, I know Krishna. That's not just, so easy to know like that. Krishna knowing means, Bhagavad Gita says, Tattvataha, to understand exactly as he is. Means, like here we saw that Krishna, he has unlimited potency and he can do anything, everything, whatever he wants. And he can expand so many forms, even though he expanded so many forms, but still he is one person. So all these things, philosophical understanding, it means then understanding Krishna. Otherwise, it's not, easy to understand Krishna. So therefore, this bhakti is very much is stressed. Bhaktya mama vichanati. Bhaktya dvananya sakya. Aham evam idorjuna. So this bhakti repeatedly again and again is stressed. This is the process. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada in the Bhagavad Gita, even though he's like his sixth chapter, is explaining Dhyana Yoga, but in the purport, if you see that all the time he speaks about Bhakti Yoga, because that is the ultimate goal of Bhagavad Gita. That is the conclusion which should come, that engaging. Bhakti means, Srila Prabhupada translates that devotional service, means engaging in the service of Krishna. So unless we engage in the service of Krishna, then it's not possible to understand Krishna. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada has given us so much opportunity to engage. Like now we have this Janmashtami festival, so many service are there. So if everyone is fully dedicated to service, engage ourselves fully, then one day we may understand Krishna by his mercy and his devotees' mercy. Hare Krishna.